Today on this video, we got the best landing spots for the 2025 rookies in this draft class. So our draft just finished. NFL draft's over with now. We want to get into the fantasy nuggets for these guys. So for redraft and dynasty football is going on right now, and they're doing all their rookie drafts that just started up. Even Best Ball Mania on Underdog just started up. So redraft is kicking into high gear here right now. So I'm going to give you the 10 rookies from this 2025 rookie class that are going to make an impact for you this season for the NFL. Hey everyone, welcome into the South Harmon Redraft Fantasy channel this year. I am Eric Vanek, and if you don't know me, I am the host of America's Game right here on South Harmon on the podcast network. If you're not subscribed to the podcast network, make sure you guys go check that out. South Harmon Dynasty Football. Search for that in any of your podcast formats, and you can sign up there. We have all kinds of podcast going every single week. My America's Game show is on there. It ranges anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, 3 hours sometimes. Always a blast going on there. Talk redraft, talk dynasty, talk all kinds of stuff. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out. Number one, Ashton Jeanty to the Las Vegas Raiders. The running back galore went number 6 overall. The depth chart pretty much cleared out for him, man. Like, it's Zamir White, Raheem Mostert, who they signed, Sincere McCormick, who had 2 games last year. There's nobody else there, guys. Alexander Madison's gone. Amir Abdullah's gone. It is the Ashton Jeanty show in Vegas, and I'm here for it. And where would I take him in a redraft league right now? I think he deserves to be at the back end of round 1. Honestly, in redraft leagues. So that's probably where you're going to have to take him. He might even go sooner than that as well. But I kind of want to point out a reason of why I want him up there. Let's take a look at Marshawn Lynch's numbers with Pete Carroll, his first 4 full seasons. 2011, 285 carries, 1,204 yards, 12 touchdowns. 2012, 315 carries, 1,590 yards, 11 touchdowns. 2013, 301 carries, 1,257 yards, and 12 TDs. And 2014, 280 carries, 1,306 yards, and 13 touchdowns. And that doesn't even count the receiving yards that Marshawn had there as well. And Ashton Jeanty, we know he can catch the ball. He's a really good receiving back. And this offense needs all the help it can get outside of Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. There really isn't much offense here. Their offensive line is, I would say, average. It's pretty decent. It's not like the greatest in the league, but hey, this is a really good start for Ashton Jeanty. You see what Chip Kelly has done in his past as well. He likes to run the football. And what does Pete Carroll like to do? He likes to run the football. So Ashton Jeanty, not saying he's going to have these 300 carries, but I think it's close. Like, I'm betting 250 carries, 50 targets. That's kind of what I'm expecting here from Ashton Jeanty this year. So Ashton Jeanty, definitely my number 1 favorite landing spot for fantasy this year. My number 2 fantasy guy that I want this year from the rookies is Travis Hunter to the Jacksonville Jaguars, a wide receiver. We all know about Travis Hunter. Freak athlete, insanely talented as a receiver and a cornerback. It is going to be something we haven't seen in the NFL in a long, long time. And I know a couple of the GMs, especially Andrew Berry, has come out and said he is the Shohei Ohtani of the NFL. And I can't argue with him. I'm so excited to watch Travis Hunter this year. Only has Brian Thomas Jr. in front of him right now, and we know the historic rookie season that Brian Thomas Jr. just came off of. The coach and the GM drafted Travis Hunter to score touchdowns. They talked about that in their press conference. They're going to use him on offense, and I bet you he's going to get used on defense as well. But I'm willing to spend probably around 4 to 5 pick this year in my redraft leagues to get Travis Hunter. I think he makes an instant impact this year. I'm thinking he's going to get over 1,000 yards. Touchdowns, we'll see. That varies to year to player, but I'm expecting Travis Hunter to have a really good rookie season and somebody I want to use as like my wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 on most of my redraft teams this year. My number 3 player on my list is Omarion Hampton, the running back that went to the Los Angeles Chargers in the first round this year. So Omarion Hampton, if you don't know about him, bigger back, kind of like a Nick Chubb type build to him a little bit. only has Najee Harris right in front of him, who they signed this offseason to the Chargers. But I believe Omarion Hampton is a better receiver than Najee Harris, and he's going to get used in the receiving game more. Now, he's going to lose some touches to Najee Harris for sure. But hey, what does Jim Harbaugh like to do? He's got a history with running backs, and so does Greg Roman, who was with him there as well. So let's take a look at his first 4 years in the NFL with San Francisco as the head coach. And he had Frank Gore, who was the running back there. What did Frank Gore do in those 4 seasons? So in 2011, 282 carries, 1,211 yards, 8 touchdowns. 2012, 258 carries, 1,214 yards, and 8 touchdowns. 2013, 276 carries, 1,128 yards, 9 touchdowns. And 2014, 255 carries, 1,106 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So I think Omarion Hampton is set up to have a really big year here. I think he's so much more talented than Najee Harris. We've seen Najee Harris the last couple years. He just looks slower. He doesn't look as explosive. Hampton is a very explosive runner. And I think by August even, he might have the job to himself. Okay, maybe we're more realistic October. But with that offensive line that they have built there for the Chargers with Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt-Delete, they're going to have a really, really good running game. And they did last year, too. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, those guys had really good seasons last year. Now you get some talented running backs with Omarion Hampton there. I think Omarion Hampton is set up to have a smash type year. The next running back I want to talk about is Quinshon Judkins, who went to the Cleveland Browns at the top of round 2 this 2025 NFL draft. Now, Judkins, he's going to play that power role here for the Browns, reminiscent to what Nick Chubb did when he was rolling there with the Cleveland Browns for a couple years and under Kevin Stefanski. Now, they did draft Dylan Sampson. They still have Jerome Ford on the roster, but I think they drafted Judkins to be the guy, to be the lead bell cow here, to get all those tough yards and grind it out, while Dylan Sampson, he's going to come in for some breathers. Jerome Ford's going to be used here and there as well. But I think Judkins is set up to have a really good rookie season right out the gate here. So I want to take a look at Nick Chubb and what he did under Kevin Stefanski. So in 2020, Chubb missed 4 games, still had 190 carries, 1,067 yards, and 12 touchdowns. 2021, he missed 2 games, had 228 carries, 1,259 yards, 8 touchdowns. And then 2022, when he played in every game, 302 carries, 1,525 yards, and 12 TDs. This is what we could look for from Quinshon Judkins, that everything hits in the year 1 here for him. And I think it can. There is nobody I'm scared of. I like Dylan Sampson as a prospect, but he's not going to overtake Quinshon Judkins, and either is Jerome Ford. So Quinshon should be set up here to have a smash first season, and probably a rookie running back you can get in the middle rounds of your redraft leagues, and somebody that could really help you. Number 5 running back that I like in the 2025 NFL Draft for our redraft is Steelers running back Caleb Johnson from Iowa. The Steelers depth chart, it is literally only him and Jaylen Warren right now. Najee Harris obviously just went to the Chargers, who we just talked about. And Mike Tomlin has already come out and talked about how Caleb fits the style they want to run the ball in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has always been a run-first team. They got some talented offensive linemen they've drafted last year and this year. And obviously those guys are going to get better as they get more mature in the NFL. Offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, we all know he loves to run the rock, using Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson there in Atlanta, and not using the wide receivers and tight ends as much as we liked, but we know he's there to run the football. And let's take a look at what Najee Harris did his first couple years with Mike Tomlin and kind of see what some of the usage is that he's going to be used as. So 2021, Najee Harris's rookie year, he had 307 carries, 1,200 touchdowns and 1,200 yards, and 7 touchdowns. 2022, 272 carries, 1,034 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Najee Harris never had below 1,000 rushing yards his last 4 seasons there with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think Caleb Johnson can come in and take over that role. Jaylen Warren can stick in his, third down role, spell back, get a series or 2 here and there. But I think Caleb Johnson is set up for a really big season here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He should have a lot of running room behind a really talented offensive line and a team that likes to run the ball. I want volume with my rookie running backs, and this class, there are so many guys that are going to get a lot of volume and a lot of usage. So this is one of the guys that I definitely want to target in the middle rounds as Caleb Johnson for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 6 on my list is the New England Patriots new running back Travion Henderson from the Ohio State Buckeyes. Second round, high draft capital, and the Patriots are going to use him. Ramondre Stevenson is still there, so he is going to split some work, but Travion is explosive, and what an athlete. And you kind of look at what Drake May did. I know a totally different offense, different offensive coordinator, but you looked at what Drake May did with Omarion Hampton his last year at North Carolina, and Omarion Hampton had a boatload of catches and was getting used quite a bit down the field even too. Travion can do all that. He's a very good pass blocker, which means he's going to be out there on passing downs and be the guy here. So another thing I wanted to look at as well is, man, Josh McDaniels, how has he utilized pass catching running backs with his time with the Patriots? And I pulled up 5 examples here of how Josh McDaniels utilized these guys. So in 2012, he had Danny Woodhead. Danny Woodhead had 40 catches, 446 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the receiving game. 2013, he had Shane Vereen, 47 catches, 427 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 2014, Shane Vereen again, 52 catches, 447 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 2015, Dion Lewis, 36 catches, 388 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And that was just in 7 games before Dion Lewis tore his ACL. So Dion Lewis was on for an incredible year that year. And then 2017, when Dion finally got healthy and back, 32 catches, 214 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So I'm expecting Travion to at least have 400 receiving yards here and some receiving touchdowns. And we're not even talking about his rushing game work that he's going to get as well. I'm not going to say he's going to be the starter over Ramondre Stevenson, but he has a pretty good shot to be. We'll see what happens there with the New England Patriots. But yeah, Travion Henderson is set up to have a really good season, especially in PPR leagues that we, covet these kind of guys that can catch 40, 50, 60 balls and have, have 500, 600 receiving yards. I think that is in Travion Henderson's wheelhouse year 1 here with the New England Patriots and Josh McDaniels. Number 7 on my list is RJ Harvey, who went to the Denver Broncos in round 2. And if you have seen some of the Sean Payton stuff on him, he has just gushed about this guy. Absolutely, man. It is, they wanted Ashton Genty. They came out and said that. And Sean Payton said he went back in and watched a ton of running back film and fell in absolute love with RJ Harvey and said, this is my guy. Usually when Sean Payton says, this is my guy, you pay attention. RJ Harvey should have a really, really good season here for the Denver Broncos. And he's a very good pass catcher, guys. Like, he can do passing route or receiver routes. He can do all that kind of stuff out of the backfield and being used spread out wide. And I kind of want to look at Sean Payton's history for pass catching backs, and it'll blow your mind at some of these numbers. So I have a bunch of examples here. 2011, Darren Sproles, 86 catches for 710 yards, 7 touchdowns. 2012, Sproles again, 75 for 667, 7 touchdowns. 2013, 71 catches, 604 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now let's kick it to Mark Ingram. A couple years that he had where he didn't start off very hot with the Saints, but once he got cooking there, towards when Kamara came around, basically, Mark Ingram was catching a lot of balls. So 50 for 405 in 2015, 2016, 46 for 319, 4 touchdowns, and 2017, 58 for 416 and 1 touchdown. And that's with Alvin Kamara. Now let's kick it to Kamara. 2017, that year I just mentioned with Mark Ingram, 81 catches for 826 yards, 5 touchdowns. 2018, 81 for 709, 4 touchdowns for Kamara. 2019, 81 for 533 and 1 touchdown from Kamara. And then 2020, Kamara, 83 for 756 yards and 5 touchdowns. I mean, we can see here, 400 yards minimum for RJ Harvey as a receiving back. You see how Sean Payton's offense likes that. And Bo Nix kind of operates the offense like Drew Brees did. I don't put it out of the question that RJ Harvey can have at least 50 catches and 500 yards, and that might be on the low side, guys. Number 8, let's get into our wide receivers finally after just hammering all those running backs. But Tedero McMillan, the wide receiver who went number 8 overall to the Carolina Panthers, and this just gives Bryce Young a big-bodied outside wide receiver that the Panthers really, really need. You know, he has had Mike Evans comps, Drake London comps, players like that. I'm not saying he's any of those guys. I don't believe that truly, but he's close. And you've seen what Dave Canales did with Mike Evans for 1 year in Tampa Bay. I think Tedero McMillan can come in and be the number 1 target here for the Carolina Panthers in year 1. Obviously, they still have Adam Thielen. They still have Xavier Legette. Those guys ultimately at their age right now, especially Thielen and then Legette, he's still developing. I think Tedero McMillan is a way better prospect than Xavier Legette was. So Tedero McMillan, he should come in and have a really good first year with the Carolina Panthers if everything works out. Dave Canales is a hell of an offensive coordinator, calling plays. I think taking this guy at 8, they're going to really love using him. At number 9, we have the Green Bay Packers first year wide receiver, first round pick that since 2002, guys, 2002 when they took Javon Walker in the first round. Here we are in 2025. The Green Bay Packers selected Matthew Golden, the wide receiver out of Texas, in the first round. So I think he was the most talented wide receiver on the Packers right now. Like Jaden Reed, I think he's been a consistent 50 to 60% snap share player. He's not playing all the snaps. He's just playing in that slot role. Romeo Doubs, kind of just a possession guy at this point. I don't think he's anything special. Christian Watson tore his ACL late in the season last year, so he's probably not going to be around. I think Golden has a really good shot to do well here. I think he's the best pure wide receiver that this Green Bay offense has. Like his route running, his separation ability is going to be big for Jordan Love. Especially with some of these other guys, like I mentioned, Dobbs, who doesn't have great separation. Jaden Reed doesn't play all the snaps. Obviously, they love to run the ball with Josh Jacobs, but I think people are undervaluing Matthew Golden and his impact that he's going to have his first year. Now, is he going to have 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns? I'm not telling you that. Is it a possibility? Absolutely. But I think Matthew Golden, the way that he plays the game, the way he runs routes, the way he separates against corners, I think Matthew Golden is set up to have a really good year with Jordan Love, and I think he should be the focal point of the passing game for the Green Bay Packers coming up this year. Number 10 on my list is somebody that has really risen up the boards before the draft, and now everybody knows about him, and that's Kyle Williams, the wide receiver out of Washington State, who went to the New England Patriots. And if you look at the Patriots depth chart, it's not looking great. Nobody on the depth chart really at all. They have their 3 starting receivers right now are listed: Stephon Diggs, Demario Douglas, and Mac Hollins. So Kyle Williams comes in right now, I believe, and be an instant day 1 starter on the outside there. I think Stephon Diggs still recovering from the ACL. We don't even know if he's going to be ready for week 1 yet. Demario Douglas, just a slot guy. Mac Hollins, really good veteran wide receiver blocker, but Kyle Williams' talent blows all these guys away other than maybe Stephon Diggs. But none of these guys really scare me at all. I think Williams can come in and be the number 2 or number 3 target behind Diggs, maybe Hunter Henry on some weeks. But Williams is set up to have a really big year with no one in front of him. I think, Drake May is ascending. Their offensive line got a lot better in the draft. Obviously, they got some running backs as well. So this is going to be a more balanced offense. And I think Kyle Williams, rookie year, he should be set up to have a really, really good year. So this is somebody you could probably get in the double-digit rounds of your redraft leagues this year, and somebody that pops and ends up, maybe starting some weeks for you this year. I think Kyle Williams, one of the rookie receivers that I think just hit a absolute perfect landing spot for us in redraft fantasy football this year, and he's going to have a really good year. But hey, that is it for this first video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Keep checking us out here on the South Harmon Redraft channel. We're going to have more videos for you coming this year. But this is Eric Vanek signing out for this one. We will see you guys next time.